Well, she can have her preference, her
So
opinion.
what makes you right and her wrong, though?
The way you argue it, the logic.
What?
Yeah, if you're gonna try and that's how you prove things by logic.
So let's say Desiree says sleeping with a corpse is okay, and you say no, it's wrong. What makes you right and her wrong?
If I say if you were if I say I think like we can all agree that if we were corpses, we would not want people disrespecting.
So we appeal to we all for what is moral? So if we all say it's okay to like beat a person to death, that's now moral?
What?
If we all say it's okay to beat a person to death, then that's moral then? Or?
Well, we make up what is moral and what is not moral.
So
just
we
like
make it up. Okay, so
Didn't you say
Desiree
rights are
says,
made up?
so if we make up what is moral, and Desiree says X thing is moral, how could you ever tell her she's wrong?
You argue it like we're doing right now with.
Yeah, why even if you were right, would that make what she's saying immoral? Even if your argument was, even if she was, so let's say through argumentation, you were able to come to the conclusion that this thing over here, I have an inconsistent take with it, that still wouldn't demonstrate why it's wrong.
Isn't that a law of logic? That if it's self-contradicting, isn't that a...
No, that's not a contradiction.
Well, okay. So what is it?
You can say something's inconsistent. It's not a contradiction. So here, let me help you out here. Somebody goes up and they grab a raccoon, a dead raccoon, off the road, and they have sex with it. Tell me why that's wrong. Other than because I don't like it.
Because animals can't consent. They don't have
why
the mental
is that? Why is that important?
Why is that important? So that we don't do that to raccoons, I guess.
Yeah, but it's dead. Why would you need it to consent?
Because we respect the dead as a.
Well, what do you mean we? Obviously, the person doing it doesn't.
Yes, that's true.
So, why are they wrong? Why are they doing something that's wrong?
Because
why is it
deemed
immoral?
it as wrong, and we have reasons that we deem it as wrong.
What do you keep saying we for?
Oh my God.
What are your reasons? What are your reasons for why it's wrong? Why is it wrong for him to do that? Why? You just keep saying we. That doesn't mean anything. Why do you think it's wrong for him to do that?
If I was a raccoon has a dead raccoon, so that's a dead thing. So if I was a dead corpse, I would not want to be essayed. So that's where I get idea from.
Why should we give to your preference for what you would want? Why is what you want what is moral?
Because if we all treat each other how we want to be treated, then...
So it's all consensus. Back to consensus. We all, us, we, most of us. Is morality consensus or is morality you?
Morality is a discourse.
What? Wait. So as long as we all agree on something, it's moral?
It's a word to describe if we think it's bad or good.
Okay, so we, meaning collectively.
The people who speak English.
So wait, I just want to make sure I got this right. If most of us think a thing is moral, it is moral?
It's considered moral.
Is it moral?
I don't believe that there's inherent animals kill animals all the time. That's why, what animals do horrible things, but we don't consider them evil. It's all
I don't feel like we're getting any closer to what is moral. Who determines what is moral? How do we determine that? Is that just based on consensus then?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's just based on consensus, then the Aztec Empire, the consensus was it was okay to take a person on top of a pyramid, cut their chest open, pull their heart out, and sacrifice it to the sun god. Most of them agreed that that was moral. That was moral, correct?
No.
Why?
We don't think that anymore.
They did. They did. All of them did.
There is no morality if there's no humans. There's no one to judge it.
They
it's
were
the
humans.
judger.
They thought it was moral, Why do you say
It's a
it wasn't
judgment.
moral for them to do that?
Andrew, it's a judgment that a person makes. That's why I'm saying I'm talking about the human race.
So you mean you.
People think, conscious brains make judgments. That's what
Yeah, I agree.
morality is. So
Okay,
that's what I'm
so morality is conscious brains making judgments. So if all the conscious brains make the judgment that sacrificing a person on top of a pyramid and cutting their heart out and sacrificing it to raw is okay, then it's okay, right?
Well, I don't think anything is inherently bad or good. It's what we decide. So we evolve
so
to
if all
say
of us
no, it's
decide
not.
to take a guy up on top of a pyramid, cut their heart out, and sacrifice it to the sun god, that's okay,
I would say
right?
they had flawed logic. And they were
What
probably
was
following
illogical
religious
about
beliefs.
what we're doing?
Is the
Hang
person
on,
getting
hang on.
sacrificed
Shh.
willing?
Stop, Desiree. Show me what they did, which was illogical.
Well, I'm going based off of treat others how you would want to be treated, which I think is a good moral code.
They want to have their heart cut out and given to the sun
Well, then
god.
it's
They want that
consensual.
shit.
It's consensual. It's part of their culture. I don't see the
Yeah,
problem
can
with
you
it.
let her talk, Desiree? We don't need you involved, I promise. Can we just finish our convo? We're almost done. So what is actually wrong if the guy says, cut my heart out, and they all cut his heart out? What is actually wrong with that?
I'm not gonna honestly say that you're a bad person if you commit suicide.
So hang on. Now let's say he's the one guy on planet Earth, one guy who doesn't want his heart cut out, and all of the rest of humanity does. Why should he not have his heart cut out?
There's no grander judgment that you can make. There's no objective judgment. There is no
Well,
objective
then why do
judgment.
I give a shit about anything you say when you say to me, there's no objective morality, there's no objective judgment, there's no objective... And let me ask you a question. There's no objective morality, correct?
Not in my opinion.
Is that objective?
No, it's an opinion.
Yes, right. So it's not even objective then either, right? So if morality is just this subjective tripe, and you can just come up with whatever the fuck you want, and it's just all based on consensus, then if the consensus says that men can fuck as many women as they want, and women can't fuck as many men as they want, how can you give me a single objection to that?
If it may be considered, I can disagree with it personally. I can say I have a
Sure.
different logic that I follow. So
Okay,
people
great.
have
Give me the
different.
logic that you follow, that if the consensus says it's perfectly acceptable for men to fuck 500 women, and it's not even acceptable for women to fuck one woman, give me the logic that shows that that would be wrong in some way.
My logic would be it's a double standard.
Yeah, what's wrong with a double standard?
Well, I think people should be treated equally to the best,
Yeah, but why should they be?
because I think that's what's
Because
in the best interest for
So
the
you
world.
are the ultimate arbiter of morality,
Of
right?
my morality, yeah.
Yeah, so you personally are the ultimate arbiter of morality.
Of
I
my
think
morality.
me.
Of my
What?
I make my own opinions.
Right. So if all of society said if men 500 women, that's fine, but if women one man, that's not fine. You would dissent and disagree and say all of them were doing something immoral, right?
Yeah, I disagree with
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
So then who is the ultimate arbiter of morality?
No one.
You. It has to be you.
What?
That's a logical entailment. If all other human beings disagree with your logic, and you said logic is how you come to this, right? You say, okay, all of you are wrong. I am the ultimate arbiter of what is moral. You're all wrong, and you shouldn't be doing this, right?
No, I wouldn't deem. I would make an argument. I wouldn't say
okay,
you're
they
wrong
listen
no
to your
matter what. I
argument
have
and
an
they say,
open mind.
fuck off, we're going to do it anyway.
If they made a argument that I was like, you know what, yeah, you're right, then I would change my mind.
No, you say no, you're not right. All of you are wrong. I
haven't
still am
heard a
going to
good
go with my
argument. I
preferences.
haven't heard a good argument for it.
Yeah. I just want to let you, so that you understand. All of your morality Everything that you're considering moral right now is just coming from preferences. You're just saying it doesn't align with my preferences. If it doesn't align with what I prefer, then it's immoral. You keep on saying things like, well, you would have to logically convince me. But why is logic even important? Can you even tell me why it's important?
Because it's measurable.
Logic is measurable?
Yes.
Well, tell me how do you measure logic?
No, like you try and prove things by measuring, by measurements, like saying you are not taller, like
Deduction, like you use deduction and all these, like, it's a math.
things that you can measure.
Formula
is how
logic
you
is a
prove
math.
things.
There's
That would be
mathematical
induction,
equations for
not
logic.
deduction. That would be induction. But how do you measure? How do you measure logic? Like how? Like is
Logic is
6
going
feet
to
tall?
be
Is
fluid to
logic,
the culture.
Shut up, Desiree. It's not your turn. Is logic 6 feet tall?
Well, we say that tall, it means you are, you stand physically higher. So if you were to measure and someone has a lower height, then you can say with your logic, because you measured them, that they are shorter than the other person.
Why would that be logical?
Deduction.
You measured it.
Well, I don't understand. Why is
empirical-
measurement logical?
Because it's objective.
What's
an objective
objective? It's
measurement.
literally subjective. Okay, tell me what's objective about an
Taller-
inch?
Taller and shorter is an objective measurement
Really?
of size.
Really?
Length.
Okay, give me the exact measurement then for tall.
No, you can consider something
no.
taller.
Oh, you can't.
There's a
Wait, hang on. I just want to make sure I got this right. What is the objective measurement for tall?
Oh, if it's the length, if you
Of
measure
what?
something of its height.
Yeah, what is the logically objective measurement for tall?
It would be taller.
Yeah, it would be
You guys
relative.
have,
Relative to
You guys have
something.
3 minutes on this, and then I got to move it on.
Yeah, I'm almost done. But what is the logically objective metric for tall again?
A bigger number versus a smaller number.
Yeah, but okay. So what is tall though?
A bigger.
No, the
In number.
baseline. What is the baseline for tall?
There's no baseline for tall. Everything.
Well, then how do you know? Well, wait. Then I'm sorry. So then, how is tall?
Tall is an.
How
it's
is
a
tall a
descriptor.
logical objective metric then? If there's no baseline for it.
Tall is a. You can use it as an adjective, or you can say this is taller than this. Like my house is not taller than the
I
Eiffel
understand.
Tower.
Taller than meaning this thing bigger than this.
So that's objective.
Got that?
Tall
got
is
that.
not.
I got that. But you said there's an objective measurement for what is tall.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, so it's subjective. What is tall?
It's tall compared to you. It's a
Yeah,
descriptor.
no, but what's the baseline for what is tall?
It's a descriptor, so there is no baseline for tall.
So it's just subjective, right?
If it's an adjective and you're describing it,
Well, I mean, adjective is subjective, right?
yeah,
Yeah, everything is subjective in your worldview, right?
you can measure things.
Well, I don't understand. That would be subjective too. Measurement is subjective.
Desert Joe donated $100. Is it immoral for women to discriminate against short men? Is it immoral for men to discriminate against fat women?
But hang on, before you get to this, I just want to wrap this up real quick. I just want to make sure that I got this right. That you are not the ultimate arbiter of what is moral. That is correct, right? It's society at large. That is the arbiter of what is moral.
I don't believe that there is an arbiter of moral. It's a thing
Well,
that
then what is
it's a thing
moral?
that people decide individually.
Well, if people decide it individually, then each individual is the arbiter of what is moral.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you, the individual, would be the arbiter of all that is moral.
No, of my morality.
Well then, and if anything goes against your morality, it's immoral, right?
To me,
Then that would be you being the ultimate arbiter of what is moral.
there's more than me in the world.
And who else is the ultimate arbiter of what is moral except you?
I've said many times there's no arbiter of moral. I think that's like
Yeah, you keep saying that,
I
but it makes
reject-
no sense because then when I question that, you say, no, anything that doesn't align with my preferences is immoral. So if that's the case, who else but you could be the arbiter of what is moral?
So moral is a descriptive word.
That's just gobbledygook, right?
How?
Andrew's a descriptive word. Like, what the fuck does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
Rocks don't decide morality. It's a human
everything
thing.
is subject to. If this does not align with my preferences, it's wrong. Who else but you could be the arbiter of what is moral?
No one can be the arbiter of my morality.
Except
every
who?
person has morality, or maybe they don't, a lack
One
of.
person could be the arbiter of your morality, you,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And if all things which disagree with your morality are immoral, then you would be the ultimate arbiter, right?
Yeah, of my own morality, yeah.
Then you're the ultimate arbiter of morality.
Of my own morality, I'm not the only.
Well, I'm
So,
sorry, who else's
hold on.
morality do you go off of?
Hold on. So I
Hang on, do you go off of Fred's morality or do you go off of your morality?
I granted 3 minutes for this. It's already been 4 minutes. I need a final closing statement from both of
Yeah,
you.
do you go off of your morality or do you go off of Fred's morality?
I go off of mine, and so my
Okay,
final.
so if you go off of yours and anybody who disagrees with yours is wrong and immoral, who the fuck else but you could be the arbiter of morality?
My morality is actually fluid, and I can decide. I can decide. Yeah, I can evaluate things differently.
Morally fluid.
I can like milk one day, and I can not like milk another day.
It's not liking milk moral.
Rabbit donated $100. Apart
Thank
from
you.
sex happening with only one person, it does not change the fact that you had
morally
sex 50
fluid.
times. And yet, women feel the need to lie about it. And men too expect you to lie to them.
Brian, I don't know. I don't know. I'm morally fluid now, so what do I know?
Thank you, Tamara,